Morning guys, this is Hannah and thank you for tuning in for another video. What we are discussing today is another portion taken from the stimulus package, the EIDL grant and the EIDL loan. Pretty similar to what we have under the CARES Act. This is a grant and a loan given to the businesses, the struggling businesses who certainly need it. It does come with a bit of some changes compared to the CARES Act. So in this video, we're going to go over what the changes are, the stipulations to qualify for it, how to qualify, when to qualify, and some other small details that go along with it. So let's begin. Now, like I said, this is like an EIDL version 2.0. It comes with more detailed qualifications than the first one. It certainly is for businesses that need it, those that are suffering. As usual, it is $10,000, just like the CARES Act. And this one would be, as earlier, available for all the businesses, including the gig worker, the contract people, the sole proprietor, the consultants, whether you have an online retailer, you are the Lulu sellers, Etsy seller, Uber drivers, your house cleaners, TaskRabbit people, or the regular, maybe an IT consultant business that you may have on the side, or an S-corporation, LLC partnership, anything for that matter. There is a little bit of change when it comes to the seasonal people for the EIDL. I will have a separate video for that. So, but if you are one of those people who have a seasonal business and were affected, this a little differences, small differences, but there are some that will make a difference in how you would apply. So keep an eye for that video. This one is for generally anyone who has a constant business throughout the year. Let's begin. As I said, $10,000, the grant, and forgivable, just like under the CARES Act, and then there's a loan portion attached to it. The stipulations, there are 3 provisions that you would have to fulfill in order to qualify for the grant. The first one, you have to apply and be in business. So you cannot be the one that is just starting out or doesn't have a business to prove, because they do want to look at numbers. They want to see comparisons. So you do need to be in business, have already been doing it for you to apply. The second one, you need to have an income loss of 30% after March 2020 on an 8-week period with this pandemic. That at the end of the day, they want to make sure that because of this pandemic, your business was hit 30% or more in an 8-week period when compared to, let's say, the prior year. And hence, stems from the same thing, you have to be in business. Especially people like Uber drivers or the Instacart people or even the house cleaners. I know a lot of people stopped calling the house cleaners because they did not want exposure level. So a lot of the house cleaners did lose the job. So there's certainly going to be that 30%, I'm sure a lot more than that. Now, the third one is basically the biggest deciding factor, and that's going to be an issue for a lot because a lot of people are in business. I know a lot of people did have an income loss of 30% or more, but the EIDL grant has a specific stipulation which kind of, as of right now, makes it available to only those people who are located in the low-income community. Now, that is a harder pill to swallow because I know a lot of people who don't live in specifically a low-income community per se, but they've been hit pretty bad. So for them, this will not apply. How do you know whether you are a low-income category or not? I will have it in the comment pinned. You can Google it as well, but I will have a link for you to go and I guess put your zip or your city, and you will know if that qualifies under the low-income category. So this is going to be the biggest driving factor: is do you live in a low income community, because most of the business either way, I'm sure, would qualify just for the fact that pretty much anyone I know has been hit by 30% or more in terms of income loss. So the interesting part is, unlike the CARES Act, where even though the Congress passed this EIDL with a $10,000 per business grant, the SBA kind of came in and said, no, we're not going to do that. We will put $1,000 per person. And if you're a sole proprietor with maybe, your spouse or a partner involved, it'll be $1,000 per person, which will make it about $2,000. In this one, they have specifically mentioned it that it will be $10,000, and that's what you'll receive. It is not up to, very clearly written, $10,000. And also under the CARES Act, the Congress did grill SBA as to how they could just change the rules last minute on them. So I'm pretty sure they will not do that again. So if you do qualify, this is straight $10,000 and not the $1,000 per employee and all that details that came into effect last minute by the SBA. I hope that should not happen. They made it sure of that. Also, one of the interesting things here is the loan. Even though you could be denied for a loan, let's say for whatever reason you do, but you can still get the grant. Your qualification to the loan is not the criteria for the grant. So for whatever reason, if you denied the loan, you still can get the grant, and that grant still remains forgivable. 21 days is what they have given to the bank to request information before they release the funds. And this 21 days, they can come back within this time and kind of maybe ask for identity verification. They want to make sure you have a legit business. They may ask for documentation. And that's pretty legit considering there have been enough cases of frauds, and this is what they want to avoid. So at the end of the day, they'll have 21 days that they can, or the bank can come back and request those for you. So keep that in mind in terms of the timeline of what you may have to deal with. Like I said, low income is a big issue. And even though you may have a business, you may have had 30% or more in business decline, you basically qualify for every other reason. But if you do not live, or your business is not in the low income community, this is not going to apply to you. Also, like I said, for seasonal workers, there is a little difference as to how the calculations are going to work. I will have another video for that, so do look out for this. Other than that, oh yes, in case you're one of those people who, let's say, qualify under all the three categories, you have a business, you had a 30% more loss of income, you are in the low income community as well. So you are basically checkbox on all three of them. Now, if you did apply initially under the CARES Act, and let's say you were sole proprietor and you got the $1,000, when you apply this time, the way this works, and from my understanding, is that you should be getting the difference. So you should have the $9,000 because you already got $1,000. Now, if you did not get anything, then it should be the the entire $10,000. And if you got $3,000, the balance is $7,000, so you'll get $7,000. So basically, they will make up for the difference to make sure at the end of the day you have $10,000, as long as the other three categories you kind of like cover there. I think that's pretty much it. The SBA website is not up and running to accept the EIDL applications. So I'm assuming they're still kind of working whatever that they are in the background. I'm sure they'll come up with it sooner than later. I will have an update, and if you do want to keep yourself on top of it as well, please do subscribe to the channel so that whenever SBA is ready, I will be updating you guys so you do get the information, and make sure you apply whenever it does get ready. With that, I think this pretty much covers what you should be expecting for the EIDL grant and the loan. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section. I will reply to those. I like reading the comments and replying those to them as well. At the end of the video, like all of them, I do end them on a positive quote. I found this one which says, "Seek respect, not attention. It lasts longer." You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.